Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami.
Oops.
Wow. Well, that was quite.
Well, Mary Beth said you had to lose a little bit of weight, so I figured I'd help you along there and kind of shrink us. So Wednesday night, and you are not in the house. We
are live at the Wellworth Hotel. It's well worth being here at the Northeast Campground Association. It's their annual meeting and conference, their 59th conference. So we're going to be talking to various leaders of the RV industry and the campground industry as they make their way out of one meeting into another. We've already bumped into our good friend Ben Quiggle from Woodall's Campground Magazine. We bumped into Marcia Galvin from Normandy Farms and Cindy Zabersky, the executive director.
The whole gang.
From Good Sam's. And joining me a little bit later will be our friend Patty Hunt, who is our cousin, if you will, in the RV life world. And you know what? Lots of surprises, but we've got a great basis for a show tonight because we've got some really interesting interviews with newcomers. Newcomers who grew up in the business.
Yeah,
that's probably the best way to put it.
20 years, they just didn't realize it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
Speaking about the NCA, that is one of the most respected campground association shows in the country. People literally come from all over the country to see what Cindy has done with that show over the years. And prior to that, her dad ran the show.
Yep.
And may he rest in peace. He was always a good man and fun time when we get together out there. But yeah, it's really is a who's who of the New England campground owners. And they get the owners. They, nothing wrong with the staff, but most of them come themselves. They may bring some people with them.
Right. So, and we have a opportunity to be one of the speakers tomorrow that you are going to be joining us. We've run into some technical difficulties with your travel, but I'll be sharing your messages as well as we talk to campground owners with the message about how they can not get along better, but how they can cooperate more with RV dealers, because the reality, Bob, is after somebody goes to an RV dealership and buys a camper, what do they do to it?
Go to the campground. Go to a campground.
You go to a campground. So what better place to find better buyers for more RVs than at a campground? And you know what? We want to create a better relationship between those two phases of the industry. So, with that being said,
well, you've put together a two-pronged show, like you say, the campgrounds and what's going on out in Sturbridge, Mass, and then your interviews with some third-generation people and how they view their role as a third generation. Why don't we kick that off with Aaron Hirsch and see what Aaron has to say?
Okay. Well, we should tell people where Aaron is from because we're assuming everybody knows it.
Well, they'll see it in the background. You got this big placard and this big sign, John. I thought they could read and listen at the listen.
Well, let's tell people who Aaron is.
Aaron is the general manager of Campers in RV in Chichester, New Hampshire. It is his first management position in the company. His dad is Jeff Hirsch, the CEO. His uncle is Ben Hirsch. No, his cousin is Ben Hirsch.
Cousin.
COO. Yeah, his cousin. Are we keeping you up, DePietro?
No, there's a door that keeps opening here. We're right.
I know you had a long day, so I shouldn't be rude. But
we're happy that last year at this time the weather was, about 12 degrees with 40-mile-an-hour winds, and every time that door opened, all the papers would fly off this desk. But we've got a better vantage point this time.
Well, I'd rather listen to Aaron than you. So let me see what you did with Aaron.
Me too.
We have talked a lot about Campers in the last few weeks as we just completed our trip to Florida. where we were the guest of Campers Inn at the Daytona 500.
Heck yeah, awesome.
And one of the cool things about Campers Inn that I've talked about is that it's a family-owned business and largest family-owned RV company in the United States. And here with me today is Aaron Hirsch, generation number
3.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1 in our hearts, Aaron, but
yes,
but
for
number
sure.
3. We talk a lot about the RV industry as being a huge industry, and certainly when you talk about the billions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars that are spent in the industry, but generated by the industry, you say, wow, big companies are dominating. But I think as a consumer that the whole aspect of having still family involved in a business is important. Is that important to you as well?
Yeah, I think it's really important to the dealership level, right? And it goes the whole way from top to bottom, right? When you look at the ownership of the company, when you look at the employees of the company, the people who are involved, and then all the way down to our customers, right? So what does family ownership do? Well, for the owner, right, it allows him to be very involved with the people in which work for him, right? For the employees, it allows us to be very involved with that person in case things go maybe not so well, or maybe things go really well. And at a big corporate company, nobody is calling, right, the COO of a big corporate company. We can, right? And then down to the consumer, when it comes to the things that we do on a day-to-day basis with the care for our customers, with the care for the future of our customers, because not a lot of people just buy one RV, right? The national average is 6, so we try to create that relationship. And then at the end of the day, if something were to happen that is very unfortunate to an RV customer, they can still contact the owner, talk to him, email him, and we can find a solution for that customer.
Aaron, you just gave me a stat that I'd never heard of before, that the average ownership of RVs is 6. The average family will own 6 units.
Yeah, between 5 and 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's not over a 3-year period.
I hope not. Well, sometimes I do hope, right?
But the whole point is that means it can span generations.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
And the fact that your grandfather started the biz and your dad, is still actively involved, and now you're involved at a store level, at a management level, it kind of gives the consumer peace of mind that they can go back and say, we bought this way back in New Hampshire, and now we live in Florida.
For sure. Yeah. So, how does that work? Well, as you know, right, with some of the travel that you guys do, the older you get, the nicer Florida is, right? The nicer the warmer weather is. So, some of our customers that have been long-term New England customers, they moved down there, and with Jacksonville, Ocala, Leesburg, and some of the different Florida stores we have, and even Georgia stores, they become family members at those newer southern stores, right, and purchase from them, new salespeople, new managers, but it's still the same company, right? It's still the same name. It's still the same leadership team that, has been leading the industry, the organization for a long time.
Tell us about how you grew up in the business. I'm sure that at one time you were cleaning toilets and emptying wastebaskets, right?
Yeah, so a few things. My main thing was I drove the tractor quite a bit, right, moving units, which I still do.
You know what?
At my store.
I think I saw you up in Chichester last year.
Yeah.
When we were doing the grand opening. You're on the tractor with the units hooked up at the other end.
Absolutely.
And I don't think I even knew you then. I didn't know who you were.
No. Yeah. So
who's the guy with the beard out there?
Right.
With the,
Seriously. Yeah. So I first started washing RVs. Right. That was kind of a summer job. High school, middle school, I would wash RVs. My dad was, the GM actually of one of the stores, still working at a store level. Jumped onto the tractor. That was my first full-time 40 hours a week in the summer job. Like the washing campers was whenever I wanted to, right? Then I went to college, got a business degree, traveled for Campers Inn for a little bit, and ended up here as a GM spot in Chichester. Got the opportunity to open that store from the ground up and get the experience that you can't buy, you can't pay for. That is from the ground up. Caring about the customer and starting something new, and that's what we try to do our best up in Chichester, New Hampshire.
Yep, caring for the customers is the name of the game.
Sure.
So we're going to try to limit the videos to probably about 4 or 5 minutes. We will, in fact, post these videos on the website and on our Facebook page so that you have that. That must be Patty Hunt.
That is Patty.
I never even met her. See how smart I am? I never even met her, but I thought that's got to be her.
Yeah, that's because I told them that we were coming on. Patty has a very, very popular podcast on the RV Life Network that we share with the Camper Report Show. And she's here representing RV Life. Patty, tell us, first of all, tell us about your podcast so that people can take advantage and listen to it, because I think you've got, over 100 episodes already.
Yeah.
What do you talk about on it?
Okay, so I talk about all things RV life. So I try to educate, entertain, and explore the RV lifestyle. So I have
educate, the 3 E's.
the 3 E's.
Bob, we don't have any of those 3 B's or 3 Z's or.
Three letters. The same.
We got a D and a Z, but we don't have 3 E's.
Yeah, but that's 3 E's of RVing. The 3 E's of Zagami and DePietro are eating, and eating.
Eating. Yeah,
There you go.
Exactly.
That sounds good. I like eating.
We interrupted you, but go ahead.
We
Tell
throw a
us.
drink in there every now and then. We throw a drink in there. So
Yeah, he's got his Jack Daniels. I don't even have
Oh,
water
my
with me here.
goodness.
I couldn't
you
even
didn't
find
bring
water.
water.
Yes.
Cindy didn't send out a lobster on a tray with a couple of steaks for you.
That sounds amazing.
I didn't even get
I would love that.
I didn't even get the tray.
Yeah.
Ah,
Did you even get to eat?
No.
Okay. I
are,
just
are you speaking, Patty, or are you just covering it to get some podcast interviews, or what are you doing there?
Well,
neither actually. So first of all, yes, the podcast is interviewing people. I've had you on the show.
one of our higher ranked shows, by the way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So I try to, like I said, educate people, things that people want to hear about. I just did an episode that turned into a 2-part episode on traveling up and down the Mississippi River. So that was my latest podcast episode. Really cool stuff this guy had to talk about. But yes, I have 129 episodes. I've been doing the podcast for a little over 2 years. It drops every Wednesday morning at 5 a.m. Eastern time. They go anywhere from
4 Central.
4 Central,
Right.
yes. And they go anywhere from 45 minutes to over an hour. And I have some of the most amazing guests that come on. I think that's what helps make the show. But I'm looking to, bottom line, inspire people to fully live life. Now, I'm here for a whole different reason.
Right.
I'm actually here representing RV Life's campground reviews. So I talk to campground owners and educate them on making sure that if their campground is on our site, that they claim their campground. If it's not on their site, they could put their campground on our site, because we have 2.5 million members over
0.5,
that.
Yep.
And so, we want people to know about their campgrounds and have all the right information on the campground site.
So she's a booth lady tomorrow, Bob.
I am.
And we've already told her no eating,
No
drinking.
And listen, I'll have candy at my booth.
Oh, candy.
So you can
chocolate?
Of course,
Okay, chocolate. Okay. And no drinking or texting, because that is our pet peeve, right, Bob? We go to so many shows.
Oh,
and
yeah.
or eating or texting.
Yeah.
Yes, no. I am.
You work the shows.
You
Now,
work
as
the
far as
shows.
Yes.
your chocolate, this week's special at Krispy Kreme is there's 4 special chocolate donuts, and the closest Krispy Kreme to you is down at Mohegan Sun. But John knows that very well because he takes the grandkids down there, and between Pepe's Pizza and Krispy Kreme.
Oh, good
They
pizza
put out
sounds
every day.
amazing.
And
Wow.
you're in New England for a good pizza.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is where you get a good
This
pizza.
is great
Okay.
pizza. Best
we'll have
pizza.
To go out and get pizza.
Yep. Down south, they don't have good
That's
pizza.
great, Patty. I'm glad you could come by and help us fill out the hour and it is. And were you there? Were you there last year?
No, Dawn was here last year.
Yeah, Dawn was.
Dawn was here. Dawn has a wedding
Okay.
to go to this weekend.
Well, and Dawn, I don't think I don't know if she wanted to be in Like I'm in Philadelphia, so it was easy for me to come up here.
Yeah, but Dawn lives in California, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so she would have had to fly all the way across the country.
Right.
Big expensive trip.
And when
And,
she came last year, it was rotten weather.
Any last minute comments for our fans, Patty or John? Any last questions you got for Patty?
I would just say people could listen to the RV Life podcast on YouTube Spotify, Apple, all of their favorite podcast platforms. And
It's a great
reach out
podcast.
on social media.
Great podcast. And
There we go.
Thank you.
I'm sure you agree with us that RV Life Network are some of the best people in the RV industry you could ever work for.
I cannot say enough about that. Yes, absolutely agree. Incredible group of people. RV Life is an incredible company to be part of.
They are indeed. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you down the road.
Sounds great. Thank you for having me.
So, Bob, do you want to hit replay again on that Aaron Hirsch thing and get a little more out of that?
No, we've got too many other videos.
Okay.
Let me switch that out.
Well, that's right. We have all those other ones.
We got Let me see how Arlington RV Superstore reports. Jim, thanks for taking time today to talk about Arlington RV, and had the announcement this morning that you've got the 60th anniversary open house anniversary coming up. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll talk about you also being a third generation owner.
Yeah, so for 60 years we've been doing open houses, at the dealership. It's kind of a time-honored tradition in the family and at the dealership. This is our 77th year in business, since 1948, and so this is exciting, and I'm happy that we're going to be starting our open houses. It kind of really kicks the season off for us, and so that's this Saturday and next Saturday. So.
Yeah, it's, I go way back with Jack and your grandfather and Shirley and your mother, Linda, and Jay's father, Steve. I feel like I've known you for 50 years.
I know, right?
Maybe 50 of the 60. Have you, I haven't talked to you for a little while. Have you added any new product lines? Is there anything totally different for this open house?
No, I don't think we're really doing anything different. We're kind of sticking to what, we know that our customers are looking for. Um, we're sticking to what works at this point, and just providing what everybody needs.
That's usually what works best, doesn't it? And it certainly worked best for you in 77. Isn't that amazing when you think back 77 years?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it's the last, few years in the industry have been, I guess tumultuous would be the word, and have been kind of a roller coaster, really interesting years. And that's why, we've stuck with the product lines we have, because these are manufacturers and brands that have just done really well. So.
What do you think was the success factor in you? And of course, Jay is involved with the business, but being third generation owners, what do you credit that to?
I think it is treating the customers, it's almost cliche, but treating the customers like family, treating them, instead of just allowing them to be a number and just looking for the volume of sales. Every sale is kind of, hand treated and done that way, and instead of just trying to push things through as quick as possible.
And of course, you had good teachers along the way.
For sure. I mean, yeah, all the way back to my grandparents,
all the way back,
and our parents. Yeah, for sure.
Are there any fourth generations working in the business today?
So we do have a fourth generation. They aren't officially working in the business. I don't know if there will be fourth generation this Saturday, but next Saturday for sure, fourth generation will be in the building.
In the building. Jim, thanks for taking the time. It's always great to talk to you, and best of luck with the two open houses, your 60th anniversary open house, and you guys are making your grandparents and your parents very proud as the third generation owners of Arlington RV Supercenter. Tell them where they can find you, Jim. Web
Thanks,
address.
Bob. I appreciate you having us on. So we are on Route 2 in Warwick, Rhode Island. Our mailing address is East Greenwich if you're putting into a GPS, but we're in Warwick on Route 2, 966 Quaker Lane, right in Rhode Island, the heart of the entire state, as if our state is that big that it can have a heart, but
Right.
here we are.
And it's arlingtonrv.com, right?
You got it. www.arlingtonrv.com.
All right. Say hello to Jay. Best of luck.
I will. Thanks, Bob.
Third generation time here.
Third generation and fourth coming along. It must be
Yep. Yeah, he was kind of evasive as to what that was, though. I'm wondering what it is. It might be a dog or something. It might be a pet.
No, well, he's got a couple of kids. I don't know what Jay's got for kids.
Okay.
I don't want to. Have you been watching the comments? Let me just quickly run down. We certainly don't want to avoid them. You want to do comments? Can you see your screen big enough to do comments?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm fine. Charles Butler, good evening, all. Listening as I plan my summer trips. Glad to hear you. Audrey Foley. Hi, guys. Got a busy season ahead of us all. Randall Murray says, evening, gentlemen. I saw Randall last week at the Connecticut show at Mohegan Sun. Jim Roy apologized for being late again, but no problem, Jim. As long as you're here, that's all that counts. Audrey Foley, she was responding to the comment that Aaron Hirsch made about most families will have 6 RVs. She goes, we're on rig number 4. Okay. And I presume that's you.
Yep, it's me.
Yep. All 3 of you.
That's me. That's me too. Yeah, let's go to this.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little late, guys. I was waiting for the JD hello from a very windy Athens, Texas. Okay. Ryan Hadley, evening, guys. Sorry, I'm a little late. Michael says greetings. And we're caught up.
We're caught up. We are indeed caught up. Talk a little bit about the show and what you've seen so far. I know you've only got there today, but what's the vibe? I know you ran into people.
The show starts tomorrow, so a lot of people are still coming here, but there's lots of seminars on how to run a better campground. And what it all boils down to is taking care of the customer. There's a lot of, I've got the brochure here. There's lots of advertisements from companies that sell to campgrounds, like people that make picnic tables and barbecue grills and that type of thing. If you want to sell your campground, save the date for another event, visit booth 3, insurance for your campground, etc. Everything to do with running a campground. And we are going to school them on some things tomorrow that you and I have come up with about how they can work with RV dealers. And it just makes sense to have a great relationship with RV dealers because they provide the tools for campgrounds.
Well, when we have an opportunity to speak at that conference, that our discussion is always related to the working relationship, if they have one, between campgrounds and dealers. And speak to that a little bit, because we know it's an issue. Consumers, our fans, know it's an issue with many. What are some of the things you're going to be talking to them about? Tell me how you prepared your presentation.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by holding up a bar stool with 4 legs on it. Okay. One leg represents the manufacturer. One leg represents the dealer. One represents the camper, and one leg represents the campground itself. Okay. If you take any one of those legs out, then you could still sit on the stool, but it's not as safe and it's not as comfortable. So what it all boils down to is I'm going to tell them, right now there's already a relationship between the manufacturer and the dealer because they buy and sell from each other. There's already a relationship between the dealer and the customer, and there's already a relationship between the customer and the campground. But there's no cross relationship, if you will, from the leg that represents the campground owner to the RV dealer. And people go to RV dealers to buy campers, and then they go to campgrounds. Okay. So the best place from a dealer's perspective to reach new prospects is to put some units on display at a campground. Okay. Have a service person there at the campground on a regular basis. Have a relationship where the campground gives free nights to the brand new camper. Okay, have them give free nights on Sundays to the free camper, to the camper at no cost. Why? Because it's like an airline seat, Bob. As soon as the flight attendant closes that door at the front, every seat on that plane that's not occupied is lost revenue. Okay. So what you do is you find out, that Sunday nights you don't sell out, but you keep that camper there for an extra night. So possibly they'll go into your store. Possibly they'll buy firewood from you. Possibly they'll buy Coke or Pepsi or alcohol if you've got that for sale. Maybe like it so much that they sign up for another weekend there on their own. Items that have value but cost the campground nothing to provide. So with that being said, we just want to make those two groups get along better. And in fact, it's not even get along better, it's get to know each other, because with the RV dealers that I've talked to, all of them have said that that campgrounds never come to them and say, let's work on a joint venture.
Yep. And
to me, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yep. And not to blow our own horn, but we'll blow our own horn. Our talk at that conference every year when we are there is usually always a standing room only, and it always exceeds the time limit.
Yep.
Because it's a subject that people, for whatever reason, don't like to talk about it, and we're two crazy guys that love to talk about it.
Yep. And that's the first thing I put on my notes. I said, folks, we have, because Ben Quiggle is going to join us.
We may not have been. We are still trying to.
Ben is going to join us tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right.
Live at the session, and he can provide a helicopter view of the campground industry because he goes to all these events, and let us know what's going on in Wisconsin and Michigan. And next week he goes out to Reno for another show out there. And Patty Hunt will join us as well. So I have already told the people we've got much more content than the 45 minutes we'll be able to hold, so that I have reserved the spot in the hallway to answer every last question. I mean, last time we went over by an hour.
There was nobody behind us. So we just kept answering questions and running it out. The 1 hour session became a 2 hour session.
Yep. And the people, there is somebody behind us because they've got another session coming in. But I'm going to tell people, look, we're here to help you. We're not some of these, a lot of these speakers, Bob, you and I have been to conferences where the keynote speaker, if you will, as soon as they're finished, they run off stage and jump on a plane and leave.
Yep, they can't get off quick enough.
Well, you know what? The beauty of it is I don't have to catch a plane. I'm 25 minutes from home. And, we're blessed to be able to meet these people here. So,
great. Well, look at one of the other videos you did at Mohegan Sun was Lexi Roberts, who is the daughter of Suzanne and Frank Roberts, and the granddaughter of Shirley and Fran Roberts, and a family we've known for almost 40 years, I think.
We got a lot of time. We can play more Alexi. What do you have after that?
We don't. I don't. No, Ben is not loading. I don't think we're going to be able to do Ben.
Forget Ben.
We'll post it tomorrow. And this one was too long for StreamYard, so I have to do this a different way. So these are always a challenge, but it's a great interview. What I'll do, John, is I'll cut it before you swing to the parents, or maybe give a little bit of the parents on the couch. It's this is a great interview, and as was Aaron Hirsch. And this next, I feel very comfortable about our industry when we have mature people like Lexi.
They're sharp people. I mean, Lexi's 22 and Aaron is 30.
All right, let's see if I can make this work.
Bob, when you add their two ages up, they still don't reach either of us.
That's a shame. Okay.
We are in a beautiful Berkshire Class A
diesel
pusher that's available at Longview RV. And as you just saw in the sign, it says the biggest two words, family owned since 1959. And we are here with Lexi Roberts, third generation member of the team. And Lexi, welcome to your beautiful display here in Connecticut.
Awesome, thanks.
So third generation, does that put extra pressure on you to perform because the first two generations have knocked it out of the park?
Yeah, definitely some pressure. I think the way I look at it is I see opportunities for improvement and change. So it'll definitely be different. They grew and built the business, and now I'm trying to tailor it towards the next generations coming in and make the changes for technology and everything else that's changing in the world.
Okay. Do you feel extra pressure on you right now because your mother is over there watching every word that you're saying?
I'm used to them being around. I'm at work with them, see them at home, family vacation, work trip.
Yep.
I'm used to it.
I mean, you've already grown up, gone to college, and come back. Was that a big career decision, or was it always in the cards that you were going to be part of the deal?
I didn't think about it when I was younger, and then I started working at the dealership when I was 16, and I started as a service writer, and I loved the service department. I loved people I worked with, the customers, and just the whole industry as a whole. So I originally applied to college as a biology major, as my mother will tell you, and then we got all my acceptance letters, and it said the business school, and she was very confused. So I kind of decided, and I was like, yep, that's the way I want to go. I was an accounting major and then wanted to come back and run the business.
Huh. Interesting. Because, you got to admit that the RV industry, at least in New England is concerned, has been a male-dominated industry in a male-dominated
Good, how are you? Come on over here.
industry
We're going to have you on
nationally.
for a couple minutes.
And more and more young ladies are getting involved in it now and moving on to the management ranks. I understand that you just went to a RVIA event.
We're doing a show.
We're
doing our
I wanted
RVing
to
and
find out from you what you thought of the industry.
Yeah, I normally think I'm the young one. I don't have as much experience, but people are interested to hear what the younger people have to say. Like you said, not a lot of women, so there's just that different perspective, and people are excited about it.
Are you?
I am. I'm happy to be here and learn as much as I can in my first few years full time.
Mama, did you see her face light up did you see that? Okay, we're going to get to them in just a minute. But did you feel pressure to come into the business? Because, a lot of times the third generation says, I don't want anything to do with that because I give up my nights, I give up my weekends, I give up my summers, I give up the first 12 weeks of the year for shows. I don't, like, you're in a show right now. Today's the third day here, probably the fourth or fifth day since move-in. You have a hotel that's right here. You don't even go outside and breathe fresh air. It's not an easy business.
We're bringing an RV to a golf show next weekend for my birthday on Sunday. So yeah, exactly. And I knew that coming into it, but hard work pays off, and it's a fun industry to be in. So you're selling vacations and dreams to people. So it's not like I'm just staring at a computer all the time. And
hold on. You said you're selling vacations and dreams. You're not selling cubic inches and feet and air conditioning and 3 slides and 4 slides. You're selling your mentality is you're selling the end product.
Mm-hmm.
And we just happen to be in something that is the delivery vehicle, right?
We'll get you there eventually, but
Okay.
that's the big picture thinking of it. You just want to get them out on the road and sell the lifestyle and bring more people into RVing as a whole. And I think that's super important because we need all the generations and for it to kind of flow down. So you want your parents to have a good experience so the kids then stick to camping when they grow up and bring their kids out.
Okay.
And you just want the experience overall as a whole and bring more people back to camping instead of going to Disneyland or a hotel or anything like that.
You can still go to Disneyland, but go
In
there
the
in an RV, right?
Go to Fort Wilderness.
Park
I've
at
done
Fort
it. Yeah.
Wilderness, right? And you say that, and if my fading memory is correct, you guys have done several family vacations in the RVs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we did a big cross-country trip. I think I was about 13. A big diesel motorhome. We went from Connecticut out to California, up around through Canada. I've been to most national parks, and we've got the pictures up in the dealership, and people love hearing about it because it is the dream.
And that's why people buy these to do the old national park thing and everything else. So should we swing to generation number 2?
Oh, yeah.
Should we move over there? Okay. Would you identify yourselves, please?
Hi, I'm Suzanne Roberts.
Frank Roberts.
Okay.
I'm Lexi's mom.
Yeah, Lexi's mom. Proudly watching her. Proudly. You have tears in your eyes?
I don't. But I should. Everything she does amazes us daily.
Yeah. Did you kind of tell her that I'm going to send you to college, but you got to come back and work for us? Was there any of that stuff?
No, I didn't want her to come back. I wanted her to go explore a couple of years on her own. She turned down a phenomenal offer from a big company, and I thought she should have worked there. And she said, absolutely not. I'm coming to work with Dad, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to argue with her when she's a lot like me. When she makes her mind up for it, she goes full steam ahead, and she excels at everything she does. So I think she's going to be terrific.
Okay. So Frank. I always get you and your dad mixed up because you have the same name. Did your parents get to see her working at all?
They did. They loved it.
Is she always this quiet when you give him a question that is an essay answer and he gives you a short answer?
Yeah, they were very pleased to watch her at the store. They make special trips down to come down and see her. They never made a special trip to see me.
So Lexi said that she started off when she was 16, but she actually started quite younger.
We're going to say, yeah.
When we had open houses, her and her brother would be serving hot dogs, and we ended up getting a beautiful hot dog cart, and we put Lexi and Frankie on it, and they would serve to customers. So she's been doing this a lot longer than she actually messes up to.
So we have Fran, Frank, and Frankie.
Frank Jr.
Three generations
Franks.
of Franks. Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, normally you don't wait till you're 16 when you have a family business. They have you doing something.
I'm doing something, yeah.
Well before that. And the proof of the fact is that you're not pushing your kids into the business because your son is going to college for the medical thing that you didn't go for, right?
He's on a pre-med track.
Yeah. How important is it in the RV industry to have family members involved in the day-to-day operation of a business for you guys that are now the
It's huge.
main generation?
It's very important.
She has a little more skin in the game, and it means a little more to her because at the end of the day, it's family.
Yep. And your name is on the
Family name on the line, yep.
southeast corner of that check.
Yeah.
What would you say to other people that own dealerships that have kids that are coming of age, recommending this or saying do what you want or stay away?
Let them do what they want. If
Let
they
them
don't
do it.
love it in the beginning, they're not going to love it in the end.
Right. Her brother loved it when he was younger. He started really young at like 9, working in the shop behind the mechanics, cleaning up after them. And then he became a tech, self-taught, and he decided, I really like medicine, and we're letting him choose his life.
Okay. So you're going to let them stay around a little bit longer, or are you going to push them out and have a family coup here, or what?
I like to keep them around and learn as much as I can because my dad's got years of experience, and so I want to learn everything I can, and then they can move to Florida or whatever they want to do.
And then he still picks up the check when you go out to eat.
He can if he wants.
So we are here. Go together here for our big
Squeeze
finale
on
here.
in. See how much room's in
I know it.
here?
I know it. Do you want to, Lexi? Here, let's see your sales capability. Give us a quick tour of this place.
Yeah. Beautiful tile floors. We got the fireplace. Can work from home right from this spot here. This will come out a little bit more too there. Beautiful kitchen here. Tons of space. Look at that fridge.
Where'd you get that Vanna White arm movement? Look at her doing that thing.
I don't know where I got it from, but I do it like this, I just kind of started everything on the touchscreen panel. So there are buttons. So some people like the buttons, some people like doing it. You can do it from your phone. So the high tech stuff is here, but you can go back to those buttons if that's too much for you. You got a big bathroom
Full bath,
right
yeah.
there, full bathroom.
What do we got, a bath and a half?
Just
or?
the one here.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
and this
Yep.
one. And then you've got your big master bed in the back with the fan going. Stay nice and cool back here. Huge closet space. And then you'll have your washer dryer in here. Yep.
Okay. So
safe storage. It's got
let's
it all.
lead us back out here.
Okay.
And we'll have our grand finale with the rents. And, you know, let you guys know that the family-run RV business in New England is alive and well at Longview RV. Tell us, Mama, where we're located.
We're located at 30 Longacre Road, Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Big or small, we have them all.
Conveniently
visit us.
located off Interstate.
I-91.
There we go. Dad,
Yes.
anything you want to say?
I'm very proud of Lexi. I think she's doing a great job. And please come and see us. We'll take great care of you.
There we go, everybody.
All right, we're back. Can you hear me? I don't know what. Oh,
I didn't. There we go.
no, I didn't see that your mic hadn't clicked
Then
back.
muted. Then muted. So while we were watching the great video on Lexi,
Great video.
our friend Mr. Barnes from Island Pond Campground up in
Vermont.
We remember Pete Daniels.
I still stay connected with him, and I see all of his Facebook.
Yep. Pete set us up with a Vermont tour.
Right.
I was going to say a few years ago. It's got to be 10 years ago.
Oh, at least.
And we got to stay at his great park, closer really to Montreal than to Portland, Maine, right?
Yeah. 2 hours out of Island Pond, Montreal.
And
that's good for a trip up to Canada and stay. You are very close. How far are you from the border? If
16 miles from the Canadian border and 16 miles from the New Hampshire border.
Wow.
Up near Mount Washington on the New Hampshire side.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's up in eastern Vermont. So he was just walking by. He's on his way to a meeting. And as he leaves and goes, we're going to pull.
He's an important.
We're going to pull another lady in here for 2 seconds to say hello. And she's always a friendly face. Have a seat right here, young lady.
Was that a drink in your other hand there, Marsha Galvin?
I got nothing.
No.
Wait a minute.
Bob,
where around the corner with a drink in your hand?
Where were we the last time Marsha drove by?
Camp Margaritaville in Avondale, Florida.
That was so funny.
And neither one of us knew the other one was there. And she walked around the corner. I don't know if you said it or I said it. She looks like Marsha Galvin.
I know.
Oh, it is Marsha Galvin.
So,
small world.
Marsha, tell us why you're here.
I'm here at the NCAA conference for camping. So
Not to be confused with the NCAA conference on basketball.
that's true.
That's a different one.
Completely. Yeah. So we're here for a great conference, and I was running down to a Cracker Barrel, so I'm all excited. And
what is a Cracker Barrel? Because that's kind of like an in-house phrase, right?
it's so true.
Right.
It's kind of like Campfire Stories. I think they're rebranding it, but it's where you throw a subject out and you want to talk about e-bikes because that's such a huge thing, and what other campgrounds are doing about e-bikes. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
What is the controversy with e-bikes now? Are they too fast?
Yes, they go way past the speed limit, and they're not safe. Not and the adults.
They're not safe,
too.
right? Oh, it's the adults, yeah,
right.
Yeah, I mean, we're down in Florida. That's all we saw was.
Yeah, some of them go up to 30 miles an hour.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
and some of them are faster than mopeds.
You can get really hurt bad if you step in front of one of those things.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And as we know, we saw Mr. Zagami at the Boston RV show several years ago try to drive a e-bike, and we have pictures, live video of him slamming into a wall at the Boston Expo Center, and he got right up though.
You always get
He wrecked a $3,500 bike.
oh, you get the story wrong. I didn't hit the wall. I was going.
No, you got it wrong between what the brake pedal was and what the gas pedal was.
No, I got to the end of the aisle and I had to turn around, and in turning, I turned the whole thing over.
Right, including you.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got up and I got back on the bike, and of course, the fact of the matter that the paint on the floor at that BCEC is like an ice skating rink on a bad day.
Okay. So now he's blaming
Right.
the weather.
Yeah, but I would argue it's not my fault.
Yep.
Of course you would.
Yep. He has Morgan and Morgan that's working for him.
Is that what it says in his hat?
Yeah, Morgan and Morgan. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, Marcia, we want to thank you. I know that you are running down there. Probably can't start without you.
No. Great to see you. Wish you were going to be here in person, but it looks nicer where you are than here.
Yeah. It's a fake background, by the way.
You missed all the comments tonight about Florida. What do you think of the top 2 or 3 items that are of the most concern to campground owners, and why they're coming this year in particular?
Insurance is one of them. The skyrocketing premiums and the lack of ability to be able to get what you need covered. That's kind of like going back to the 80s right now with us.
Are there different issues that you have to have covered today than you did 10 years ago?
Yes.
What name? I mean, you jumped on that
Let me say,
away.
Let me say bike park, for instance.
Bike park. Okay.
We've closed our bike park because of insurance, because we can't afford it. They just, so it's going to be pickleball instead.
So you're going to wipe out the bike park and put in pickleball. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Well, that bike park was so big, you could get 20 pickleball courts in there.
Yeah, my granddaughter loved that bike park.
Yeah.
But some kids abuse it. They think that it's a BMX course.
Adults.
Adults worse.
Again?
Adults.
I mean, is anybody crazy?
No.
I'm guessing you don't allow it, but is anybody stupid enough to take an e-bike on that bike path?
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you don't have, can they do it? When it was active, is it allowed?
Yes.
Or was it allowed?
It wasn't allowed. No, and it's getting harder to be able to tell sometimes what an e-bike is and it isn't. You know, and then all of a sudden it becomes an e-bike and becomes a problem. So, yeah, a lot of issues, but I think insurance is probably right up there. The price, the cost of it, which escalates everything else. Yeah,
we didn't introduce Marcia, who was from what gen? Wait a minute, we were just talking about 3rd generation RV dealer.
Okay.
People. Okay, audience, be seated right now. When we ask Marcia, what generation are you?
Wait 1 second. Real quick. Some of you type in what generation valid employee is Normandy Farms Camping Resort.
That you think Marcia is.
What do you think Marcia is? Type it in and we'll see.
Type it down. Type it down there. See, we have America's only audience participation show.
Why wouldn't you? This is like top of the notch.
Yeah. So all right. So you talk about it. If I don't see many coming in, but let's
There's
see.
probably nobody out there.
Here we go. Ryan says 5th generation. The wall probably jumped in front of him. Yeah, way fast. 5th generation, 3rd generation, 3rd generation.
I mean, that would be normal, right?
Would you like to return to that age of the 3rd generation family member, Marcia?
No. Life might have been simpler then.
Here at the
Maybe
Texan RV Park, we have no pool, no swimming or boating in the ponds, no playgrounds. Insurance policies have gotten so expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
With none of those. I mean, you've got all of those. What are they called?
Audrey, come on. Audrey, you've been around the boat. You've been around the campground quite a few times. What are you, 3rd generation?
Did we get to say Normandy Farms yet?
I said Normandy Farms Family Camping Resort.
So go ahead. Bernie says 14th generation, just because Bernie's Bernie.
Bernie.
Bernie's burning.
Okay, so
What are
go
you
ahead, Mark.
drinking tonight, Bernie? Go ahead.
I'm the 8th generation. And my granddaughter's the 10th.
Granddaughter is, how old is she?
She's 2.5.
Okay.
But she picks up trash in the playgrounds.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you are lawyers out there, we have a self-admitted violation of child labor laws. A 2-year-old picking up trash.
She's not on the payroll.
Cigarette?
Usually-
Wait a minute. Wait. So you don't even pay her. That's worse.
What's special about your family? Because most 2.5 years old throw the trash down. They create the problem.
Right. Oh, no. Litter is everyone's responsibility. That's what we teach our team.
That's a good point. That's
yeah.
right. The owners pick up the trash. That's the best example you can have.
That's right.
Who's out there picking up the trash? You know that they appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, we can let her go now. She's going to be late for her Cracker Barrel.
Bye, everyone.
All right.
Do they
Bye,
have cheese and
Cracker
crackers?
I don't know.
It better be cheese. Hey, don't you think, Zagami, if they're going to advertise a Cracker Barrel, that they darn well better have cheese and crackers at it?
Of course.
Or it could be meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
Why
Barrel.
would you call it Cracker Barrel if you're not going to bring the cheese and crackers?
Yeah. And all the RVs are parked out in back.
Yeah, right.
See
Instead of going to campgrounds.
Yeah.
I know. So,
But
anyway.
I just checked, and Ben did not come through. So
Okay.
but we'll post that later
We'll have
on.
Ben tomorrow. We can post it tomorrow.
Well,
And,
maybe you do a live one.
Audrey, we'll be at Normandy Farms in April. The campground is amazing. Okay. And wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ben's right here. Ben's right here. Come here, Ben.
Hey, Ben,
Your video.
we had trouble with
Your video
loading
didn't go through for whatever reason.
I'm right
Even
here.
better than the video, we bring you
Look at
Ben,
that. You turn around and there's Ben.
We got
the
Bernie
editor,
on there.
That's hilarious.
editor of Woodall's Campground magazine.
Wait. Sagami.
What?
Editor-in-chief.
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 I don't get paid
Okay.
enough to be editor in chief,
Okay.
so it's just editor.
So Ben, what did we talk about in the interview that we talked about?
We talked about AI.
Oh, that's right. AI.
That's a big deal for campground
time.
owners. More AI tools and
Yeah.
potential robots, down the road, maybe. We talked about Canadians. Are they going to come down?
Oh, that's right, Bob. That's going to be a big issue in Old
Yeah.
Orchard.
They've already started canceling reservations.
Yeah, are they going
Okay.
to come down and camp this summer? Maybe even for the snowbirds next winter. I know there was a park in Arizona that was worried about that.
That'll kill Old Orchard Beach, Ben. I mean,
Right.
half the people in the summer, half the people in Old Orchard Beach are Canadians.
Those Quebec license plates.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. And then just the general tariffs too. What does that do for price increases for a variety of different things? But that'll be kind of interesting. I think the campground industry as a whole, though, is just becoming more technologically savvy. I guess, is that a term? I guess I don't
They're
know.
using technology.
Yeah, they're
more.
using technology more.
But they ran from it for a long time.
Yeah,
They
well, I don't know if they
resisted.
ran from it, but
They
they were
resisted.
definitely slow to adopt
Yeah.
some stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think park owners continue to add more things to their parks. They're adding more amenities, things like that. And then I say a lot. Did you notice that, John?
What?
I say a lot when I talk.
Oh no, not really.
I'm a lot what?
A lot.
I knew what he meant.
and I think a lot of the park owners I've talked to this spring said that reservations aren't doing too bad, so that's good for the industry. So
Yeah. So Bob, we got.
When you say not doing too good, that means they're not at the rate.
No,
that
they're
year?
not. They're not doing too bad. So they're doing good. They're seeing pretty steady reservations. I think it depends. When we talk about the campground industry, it does depend on the park. So some parks are more impacted by the Canadian thing. Some parks are seeing good reservations. Other ones may be down, or some may be seeing excellent reservations. So it really does depend on a park by park basis. So
Good point, Ben. Good point.
So we'll have Ben.
You're going to sit in on John's.
He's going to be part of the program tomorrow.
Yep.
And
Thank you.
we got to write to Kessler and tell him that you got to pay him a speaker's fee for coming out here and being a high-profile reporter. See, most reporters, Bob, as you know, in this industry, they just sit in the back of the room and don't do anything. Right. Ben was here signing autographs earlier.
Yeah.
And, he knows everybody in the darn industry.
Did he?
I think
Kessler gives him a big expense account. So did he show up in the limousine and they laid out the red carpet in front of the hotel for him?
Yeah, pretty much, And then I bring headshots I like to sign for people at my
black
booth.
and white glosses.
Yeah,
I keep telling DePietro we have to do that, and he won't do it.
Of Kessler?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Rick is the guy that's more in the closet. You never see him come out anywhere.
Wait a minute. I don't think I'll continue that part of the conversation.
No. See, Audrey here. Look at Ben. See, people are already saying hello, Ben Quiggle. Audrey says we're concerned. You can address this.
Yeah, about national parks and the layouts that will limit visitor centers and park. Well, I know in Pennsylvania, for instance, I know the Army Corps has shut down around like 450 sites because they said of staffing issues. So that's kind of interesting. I guess. I think a lot of that we'll have to see how that impacts those parks and campgrounds and how it impacts visitors. As far, for Woodall's, we're more concerned on the private park side. So for private park owners, I mean, that could be a boost for them, realistically, if people can't.
They can get some trained employees.
Yeah, well, too, if people can't camp as much at the national or state or mainly national parks. If they can't camp at the national parks, then maybe they'll camp at the private parks that are close by. So, but yeah, it is interesting. We'll have to see. I know the national parks were investing a lot into their parks too through some of those recent bills that have went through. They have a lot of money to tackle backlogs. So we'll have to see how that's impacted too.
So Bob, just when we thought we were running out of content,
okay.
And I said,
it works every time. I tell you.
Before I turned around, he goes, Ben is loading. I said, well, we'll put it in tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I said, wait a minute. Here he is right here. Ben, get over here. So we didn't miss a thing.
When we
got Ben live.
Somehow, it's not that we're smart, Ben. We don't fix the problem. The
We're lucky.
kind of fixes itself.
We're lucky.
Right.
We're just lucky.
Well, this is a good way to get people off of your show. So it's good that you saved me till the end.
Yeah,
because if I was at the beginning,
Patty opened and Ben closed.
Half of these people would be on.
Patty opened the show and Ben closed the show.
There you go. Yeah, two ringers. Great show, guys.
There we go.
Thanks for hanging out there and being able to catch you at the end. Have a great day tomorrow. All the campground owners will have a fun time at the conference, and we will see everybody next week. And
here we go.
All right.
Any closing statements before I hit
No, thank you for letting me come on, I guess.
Yeah. John said he was going to take you out to dinner after the show.
You already ate dinner.
I already ate dinner.
That's right. You had the early dinner.
Yeah.
Then you should take John out for a drink after this show. After this, then.
Well, we'll hit the bar. We can see the bar from here. So maybe we'll hit the bar, yeah.
Well, the only thing between you guys and the bar is me and the bar.
Yeah.
Ben has the media passes that include meals.
Okay.
We don't.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you down the road.
See y'all. Have a great day, everybody.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.